Hi, welcome back. I'm Joseph C. Phillips here on Power Zone. We're having a great conversation with Dr. Stacy L Spencer, Senior Pastor of New Direction Christian Church, and we're talking about sex, and we're talking about his new book, Naked and Unashamed, The Journey Towards Sexual Fulfillment in Christian Marriage. When we left, Dr. Spencer, we were talking about the inspiration for the book. What inspired you to write the book?
You know, we did a workshop last year called The 40 Nights of Great Sex. Again, so many people coming in my office having marital problems, divorce rates spiking up. And so my wife and I decided, let's get together, let's do something radical. Let's talk about sex with married couples. And in my research, I was in Barnes & Noble and picked up a book called Getting the Sex You Want in the self-help section. And the concept...
Not in the Christian section.
Not in the Christian section, because there's not a lot of books about sex in the Christian section. So I had to weed my way through in the secular section. And this one particular book, Getting the Sex You Want, she talked about how couples can share the things that they've been desiring but been too ashamed to share because of the misgivings about sex, the misinformation, the misprogramming they received as children. She gave this thing called the imago dialogue.
And that's between couples,
right.
A way of having straight talk about sex, honest and safe talk about
right.
sex. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, the whole imago dialogue is a way of expressing what you desire in a safe environment without being judged. And your spouse's whole thing is they got to hear what you say, so they repeat back what you say, and they make sure they're clear on what you say. But the whole thing is, it doesn't mean they're going to do what you say, but it gives you an environment to share what's on your heart, and then your spouse responds, well, knowing you like I know you, that probably took a lot for you to share that, and it probably made you feel excited, probably made you feel aroused. Thank you for sharing that with me. Now, at the conclusion of the imago dialogue, it does not mean that you're going to participate in that desire or that thought. It just gives you a platform to share what you've been thinking.
I have a feeling that a lot of Christian listeners are probably asking themselves, does this mean that anything goes? That all bets are off? The book of Hebrews talks about the marriage bed being undefiled. Does that mean we can swing from the chandeliers in the marriage room? Is there anything that Christians can't do?
Well, if you look at Leviticus 18, it gives you a whole litany of things that we can't not do sexually, like sleep with your mother, sleep with animals. There's a whole list. Now, the things that are not listed, that man and that woman must be able to talk with one another to see what is within the boundaries of undefilement. God is clear in his word on what is defilement.
But it's not sinful to bring toys into bed.
If anybody can find that in the Bible where it says do not bring a vibrator to bed, I'll change my mind.
Oral sex.
Oral sex. In the book of Song of Songs, it says in chapter 2, verse 3, that my lover is as a shade tree, and I cannot wait to sit under his shade and to taste his fruit. That is a reference toward oral sex in the Old Testament.
Anal sex.
Anal sex, we've always talked about Sodom and Gomorrah. We go back to when the angels were almost getting ready to get raped by the men of Sodom. And a lot of conservative Christians will refer to that as anal sex being evil. What was evil was that these men were getting ready to rape a guest of Lot, which was a sin to violate one's guest. It's not so much a sin for anal sex as it is homosexuality and rape. And so anal sex is something, again, that couple has to talk about. Now, there's some dangers. There's some biological, some medical dangers in having anal sex.
I want to remind everyone again that this book, Naked and Unashamed, we're having straight talk about sex in the Christian bedroom between married people, married couples.
Married people, man and a woman.
Naked and Unashamed, the journey towards sexual fulfillment in Christian marriage.